Life is supposed to be hard. You are not supposed to be comfortable all the time. That is the lie that ruined a lot of people. Somewhere along the way, you started believing that if life was hard, something must be wrong. You started believing that if you were tired, you were on the wrong path. If you were stressed, you were failing. If you were lonely, you were cursed. If you were scared, you should stop. But listen to me. Life is supposed to be hard, not because you are weak, not because you are unlucky, not because the world picked you out and decided to punish you. Life is hard because everything worth becoming requires a price. Strength has a price. Discipline has a price. Peace has a price. Freedom has a price. A real future has a price. And the price is almost always paid in the dark, before anybody claps, before anybody notices, before anybody understands why you are still going. That is why most people never pay it. They want the result. They want the respect. They want the body. They want the money. They want the confidence. They want the comeback. They want the life where they finally look in the mirror and respect the person staring back. But they do not want the boring mornings. They do not want the lonely nights. They do not want the difficult conversations. They do not want to give up the comfort that is destroying them. They do not want to sit with themselves long enough to realize how much time they have wasted. And that is the brutal truth. Most people do not waste their life in one big dramatic moment. They waste it quietly. They waste it one scroll at a time, one excuse at a time, one tomorrow at a time, one more day waiting for motivation, one more year pretending they still have time. Then one day, they look up and the years are gone. The body is weaker. The dream feels further away. The fire is smaller. The confidence is buried under 1,000 broken promises. And the scariest part is not that life was hard. The scariest part is that they made life hard for nothing. Because there are two kinds of hard. There is the hard that builds you, and there is the hard that breaks you slowly. Training is hard. Being unhealthy is hard. Building a business is hard. Being broke for years is hard. Being disciplined is hard. Living with regret is hard. Waking up early is hard. Waking up one day and realizing you slept through your own potential is harder. So stop asking for an easy life. Ask for the strength to choose the hard that pays you back. Because life is going to demand pain from you either way. You do not get to vote on whether life will be painful. You only get to choose what the pain means. You can suffer because you are growing, or you can suffer because you are hiding. You can suffer because you are becoming dangerous, or you can suffer because you are staying the same. You can suffer in the gym, in the work, in the discipline, in the silence, in the sacrifice, or you can suffer in the mirror, in the bills, in the shame, in the regret, in the quiet knowledge that you knew what you had to do and still did not do it. That is the difference. Pain with purpose makes a man stronger. Pain without purpose makes him bitter. And if you are not careful, life will turn you bitter. Not because life is evil, but because you kept expecting it to be easy. You kept waking up, surprised that you had to fight again. You kept acting shocked that another problem showed up. You kept taking every obstacle as proof that you were not meant for it. But obstacles are not proof that you should quit. Obstacles are the entrance fee. They are the checkpoint. They are the part where life asks, do you really want this, or did you just like the idea of it? Anybody can want the dream when the dream is beautiful. Anybody can feel motivated after watching a video. Anybody can talk about changing when the music is playing and the mood is high. But who are you when the video ends? Who are you when the room is quiet? Who are you when the phone is in your hand and the work is still waiting? Who are you when nobody checks on you? Who are you when you are tired and no one would blame you for stopping? That is where your life is decided, not in the big speech, not in the perfect plan, not in the fantasy version of you that exists in your head. Your life is decided in the small, ugly seconds when you either obey the person you said you wanted to become, or you obey the weak voice that wants comfort now, and nobody can make that decision for you. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to drag you out of bed. No one is coming to turn your phone off. No one is coming to make the hard call. No one is coming to force you to study, train, build, apply, apologize, forgive, focus, or start again. People may love you. People may care about you. People may want good things for you. But nobody can live your life for you. Nobody can carry your discipline. Nobody can build your mind. Nobody can suffer in your place. Nobody can become you except you. And once you accept that, it stops being depressing. It becomes freeing. Because if nobody is coming, then you stop waiting. If nobody is coming, then you stop blaming. If nobody is coming, then you stop sitting at the edge of your own life, hoping someone will give you permission to begin. You get up. You move. You start. You take control of the one thing that has always belonged to you. Your response. You may not control what happened to you. You may not control where you started. You may not control who left. You may not control who doubted you. You may not control the family you were born into, the money you had, the pain you carried, the failures you survived, or the years you lost. But you control the next action. You control the next hour. You control whether today becomes another excuse or the first brick of a different life. That is the power most people throw away. They keep staring at the past like it can give them a refund. They keep scrolling through other people's lives because they do not want to confront their own. They keep consuming noise because silence would tell them the truth. And the truth is simple. You know. You know what is wasting you. You know what habit is stealing your future. You know which comfort has become a cage. You know which friendship keeps you small. You know which app owns your attention. You know which dream still follows you around at night. You know what you should have started a long time ago. And you know that if you continue exactly as you are, the next year will look like the last year. Maybe a little worse. Maybe a little emptier. Maybe a little more numb. Because time does not pause while you decide. The next 12 months are coming whether you change or not. The next 5 years are coming whether you wake up or not. Your birthday is coming. Another December is coming. Another version of you is being built right now. The only question is whether you are building him on purpose or by accident. Do not waste your life. Do not waste it pretending you are too young to be serious. Do not waste it pretending you are too old to start. Do not waste it acting like someday is a real day. Someday is not a day. Someday is where dreams go to die slowly. Monday is real. Today is real. This hour is real. The next choice is real. Your excuses are real. Your consequences are real. And if you do not change something, your regret will be real too. That is why you have to get serious. Not angry for one day. Not motivated for 1 week. Serious? There is a difference. Motivation is a spark. Serious is a standard. Motivation says, I feel like doing it. Serious says, I said I would. Motivation disappears when the weather changes. Sirius gets dressed in the dark. Motivation needs music. Sirius works in silence. Motivation asks, "Am I in the mood?" Sirius asks, "What did I promise myself?" And that is where a life changes. A life changes when you stop negotiating with the lowest version of yourself. When the alarm rings and the weak voice starts talking, you do not debate it. When the work gets boring, you do not need a new dream. When the pain shows up, you do not act betrayed. You expected this. You knew it would be hard. You knew the old you would fight back. You knew comfort would call your name. You knew people would not understand. You knew there would be days where nothing in you wanted to continue. And you continue anyway. That is maturity. Maturity is not looking tough. Maturity is not being emotionless. Maturity is not pretending nothing hurts. Maturity is accepting that your feelings are real, but they are not the leader. You can be tired and still move. You can be afraid and still decide. You can be hurt and still act with honor. You can be uncertain and still take the next step. You can feel like quitting and still finish the day. Because feelings are weather, and you are not supposed to build your life around weather. You are supposed to build your life around principles, around responsibility, around standards, around the kind of person you are trying to become. If you only do what you feel like doing, you will become a slave to whatever emotion is loudest. And there will always be an emotion loud enough to stop you. Fear will stop you. Laziness will stop you. Comfort will stop you. Shame will stop you. Doubt will stop you. Confusion will stop you. The memory of one failure will stop you. The opinion of one person will stop you. Unless you decide that your life is too important to be controlled by temporary feelings. You need a mission bigger than your mood. You need a reason that can survive a bad day. You need a standard that stands there when motivation leaves. Because hard days are not interruptions. Hard days are the training. The day you do not feel like showing up is not the day to disappear. That is the day that counts twice. The day you feel weak is the day you learn whether your word means anything. The day you feel behind is the day you decide whether you will panic or focus. The day you get rejected is the day you decide whether you were chasing approval or building a future. The day you fail is the day you decide whether failure is an identity or feedback. The day you feel alone is the day you decide whether you can still clap for yourself. This is how you build a mind that can handle life. Not by avoiding pressure, by learning to carry it. A blade is not strengthened by staying away from fire. A man is not strengthened by staying away from hardship. You do not become disciplined by waiting for life to become convenient. You become disciplined by doing the thing while it is inconvenient. You do not become confident by being told you are special. You become confident by stacking evidence. Evidence that you showed up. Evidence that you finished. Evidence that you kept your word. Evidence that you did the difficult thing when no one was watching. Evidence that you can trust yourself. And once you can trust yourself, something changes. You stop needing the world to be gentle. You stop needing every condition to be perfect. You stop panicking every time life gets heavy. You have proof. You have memory. You have history with yourself. You can say, I have been through worse than this. I have done hard things before. I have survived days I thought would break me. I have kept going when nobody knew how close I was to quitting. And if I did it then, I can do it now. That is built belief, not fake belief, not empty affirmations. Built belief. The kind that comes from doing what you said you would do so many times that your own mind starts respecting you again. That is why your promises matter. Every promise you keep strengthens you. Every promise you break weakens you. And the terrifying thing is that most of the promises that shape your life are private. Nobody knows you said you would wake up early. Nobody knows you said you would stop scrolling. Nobody knows you said you would train today. Nobody knows you said you would start the project. Nobody knows you said you would stop going back to the habit. But you know. Your mind knows. Your body knows. Your confidence knows. And every time you break your word to yourself, you teach yourself not to believe you. Then you wonder why you do not feel confident. How could you? You keep lying to the one person you can never escape. So start small if you have to. Do not make a dramatic promise you will break by Friday. Make one promise and keep it. One walk, one page, 1 hour of work, one clean meal, one honest conversation, one application, one paragraph, one workout, 1 hour away from the phone, one night where you do not betray yourself. Then do it again and again and again. This is not glamorous. This will not feel cinematic every day. Most of the time, it will feel ordinary. But ordinary repeated long enough becomes extraordinary. That is what people miss. They think their life changes through one massive heroic moment. Sometimes it does, but most of the time your life changes because you finally stop leaking your energy into nonsense. You stop wasting the first hour of the day. You stop giving your attention to people who do not matter. You stop feeding every emotion with entertainment. You stop using your phone as a hiding place. You stop calling distraction a break. You stop waiting to feel ready. You sit down. You think. You ask yourself, what am I actually doing? Where is my life going? What am I building? Who am I becoming? What would the next 5 years look like if I continued exactly like this? And if that answer scares you, good. Let it wake you up. A little fear is not always the enemy. Sometimes fear is your soul, telling you that you are too close to wasting the only life you have. You aren't gonna be here forever. That is not motivational drama. That is reality. Your time is not unlimited. Your energy is not unlimited. Your youth is not unlimited. Your parents will not be here forever. Your opportunities will not stay open forever. Your body will not always recover the same. Your mind will not always feel sharp. Your chances will not wait while you keep trying to feel comfortable. And nobody knows the exact number of summers they have left. Nobody knows how many normal days are still coming. Nobody knows when the last conversation, last walk, last chance, last year, or last quiet morning will arrive. So stop living like you have unlimited tries. Stop throwing whole days away like they are nothing. Stop acting like your life is a rehearsal. This is not the warm-up. This is it. This is the life. This is the day. This is the season where you either become more awake or more numb. And that is one of the worst ways to waste your life. Not by failing, by becoming numb, by letting every day blur into the next, by letting your attention be owned by a screen, by knowing everything happening in the world except what is happening inside you, by consuming so much noise that you cannot hear your own thoughts, by being constantly entertained and never truly alive. You need silence. You need time away from the input. You need space to think. Not because thinking is soft, because thinking is where you rebuild your life. You need to sit with the discomfort you keep running from. You need to ask why you feel anxious, why you feel angry, why you keep avoiding the work, why you keep going back to the same habits, why you say you want change, but keep protecting the routine that created your current life. Most people never ask. They just distract. The moment pain rises, they scroll. The moment boredom appears, they consume. The moment guilt whispers, they turn the volume up. And years pass. Information enters. Dopamine hits. Days disappear. But nothing is processed. Nothing is learned. Nothing is built. The same person keeps repeating the same mistakes with slightly different excuses. Do not let that be you. Use your life. Use every hard thing. Use every setback. Use every embarrassment. Use every rejection. Use every lonely season. Use every bad day as material. Let it teach you. Let it sharpen you. Let it show you where you are weak. Let it reveal what still owns you. Because the hard thing is not just there to hurt you. It is there to expose you. It shows you your impatience. It shows you your ego. It shows you your excuses. It shows you your dependence on approval. It shows you where you are still fragile. And once you can see it, you can change it. That is why hardship is a gift. Most people hate receiving. It tells the truth. Comfort lies to you. Comfort says you are fine. Comfort says you can start later. Comfort says you deserve a break from the life you have not even built yet. Comfort says this is enough. Comfort says do not push too hard. Comfort says do not risk being embarrassed. Comfort says do not become different because people might talk. And slowly comfort steals your edge. It softens your standards. It weakens your hunger. It makes average feel acceptable. Then, it hands you regret and tells you it was protecting you. No, comfort was not protecting you. Comfort was training you to waste your life politely. You need hard things. You need the uphill. You need the cold morning. You need the empty room. You need the deadline. You need the discipline. You need the moment where nobody is forcing you and you still choose the work. That is where you meet yourself, not the self you post, not the self you talk about, the real self, the one who either keeps going or folds when things are not easy. And if you do not like what you find, do not collapse. Change. That is the whole point. You are allowed to look at your life and say, "This is my fault." That sentence hurts, but it is also the beginning of power. Because if it is your fault, it can become your responsibility. And if it is your responsibility, then your actions can change it. Blame feels good for a moment, but blame gives your power away. Responsibility hurts for a moment, but responsibility gives your power back. Choose the pain that gives you power. Look in the mirror and tell the truth. I wasted time. I made excuses. I let fear lead. I let comfort win. I broke promises. I avoided the hard thing. I kept waiting for someone to save me. And then say the next line, "Not anymore." Not anymore. Not because everything is fixed. Not because you suddenly feel confident. Not because the road is clear. Because you are done wasting the only life you have. You do not need to feel unstoppable to begin. You build unstoppable by beginning. You build it by surviving the 1-second decisions. The second when you want to sleep in. The second when you want to quit. The second when you want to reply with anger. The second when you want to scroll. The second when you want to skip the work. The second when you want to go back to the person you are trying to outgrow. Win that second. Then win the next one. That is how a man changes. Not all at once. Not through fantasy. Not through pretending. Through repeated victories over the weaker voice. And over time, those seconds become days. The days become months. The months become proof. The proof becomes identity. And one day, you look in the mirror and realize you are not trying to become that person anymore. You are that person, but you do not get there by avoiding hard. You get there by walking straight into it. So when life gets difficult, stop asking why me. Ask what is this trying to build in me. When the work gets heavy, stop saying I cannot handle this. Say this is where I learn to handle more. When the path gets lonely, stop treating loneliness like a curse. Say this is where I learn to walk without applause. When the old comfort calls you back, stop calling it rest. Call it what it is, a test, and pass it. Because everything worth doing is hard. The more worth doing it is, the harder it gets. That is not a reason to stop. That is how you know you found something real. If it was easy, everybody would have it. If it was easy, it would not change you. If it was easy, it would not require the version of you that you are trying to become. Hard is the filter. Hard removes the people who only like the idea. Hard exposes the difference between interest and commitment. Hard asks for your real name, not your mood, not your excuses, not your story, your real name. Who are you when it costs you something? Who are you when nobody understands? Who are you when the end is unknown? Who are you when there is no finish line in sight and you still have to keep running? That is the question. And you answer it every day. You answer it with your habits. You answer it with your attention. You answer it with your discipline. You answer it with what you do after the feeling disappears. So answer properly. Get serious. Write the goal. Build the schedule. Turn the phone off. Do the work. Train the body. Guard the mind. Tell the truth. Keep the promise. Take the next step. And stop waiting for life to become easy before you start living with strength. Life is supposed to be hard, but you aren't supposed to waste it. You are supposed to use it. Use the pressure. Use the pain. Use the time. Use the fear. Use the regret. Use the silence. Use the fact that nobody is coming. Use the fact that time is passing. Use the fact that you are still breathing. And build something with it. There is a part of you that already knows this. That is why certain words hit you harder than others. That is why a line about discipline can make your chest feel heavy. That is why watching someone else fight for their life makes something inside you wake up. Because deep down, you are not confused about whether you were made for more. You're only afraid of what more will cost. You are afraid that if you really try, you might find out you are not who you hoped you were. You're afraid that if you go all the way, people will see you fail. You're afraid that if you commit fully, there will be no excuse left. But that fear is not a stop sign. That fear is the doorway. The life you want is on the other side of the exact thing you keep avoiding. The body you want is on the other side of the workouts you keep delaying. The business you want is on the other side of the rejection you keep fearing. The confidence you want is on the other side of the private promises you keep breaking. The peace you want is on the other side of the honesty you keep running from. The man you want to become is on the other side of the hard thing you keep calling impossible. And you know what is worse than failing at it? Never finding out, never knowing what would have happened if you had actually given everything. Never knowing what kind of person would have come out of you if you had stopped protecting comfort and started protecting your future. That question will haunt a man. What if I had gone all in? What if I had stopped wasting time? What if I had taken the next 5 years seriously? What if I had trained when I was tired? What if I had built when nobody believed? What if I had become disciplined before life forced me to? Do not let your future self ask those questions with pain in his chest. Answer them now. Answer them while you still have time. Answer them while your body can still move. Answer them while your mind can still learn. Answer them while your dream still has a pulse. Because life does not become meaningful by becoming easy. Life becomes meaningful when you choose something worth suffering for, a family worth protecting, a future worth building, a body worth respecting, a craft worth mastering, a mission worth waking up for, a name worth keeping clean, a soul worth saving from comfort. That is why hard is not the enemy. Meaningless hard is the enemy. Wasted hard is the enemy. Comfort that turns into regret is the enemy. A life with no mission who's the enemy. So pick your hard. Choose the mountain. Choose the standard. Choose the future that demands something from you. And when the climb starts hurting, do not act surprised. That pain is not proof that you are losing. That pain is proof that you are finally climbing. Because one day the days will stop coming. One day, there will be no more Monday. No more next year. No more later. No more someday. And when that day comes, you will not care about the likes, the excuses, the comfort, the opinions, or the easy nights you protected. You will care whether you lived, whether you tried, whether you became what you could have become, whether you fought for the life that kept calling you, whether you wasted it, so do not waste it. Do not waste your life trying to avoid hard. Do not waste your life waiting to feel ready. Do not waste your life watching other people live while you slowly disappear into comfort. Get up. Face it. Carry it. Build through it. Life is supposed to be hard, and that is exactly why it can make you strong.